I've worked with thousands of baseball families over the last 6 years. I've trained the mind of top prospects in this year's MLB Draft. I've coached D1 commits, pro draft selections, and kids who just wanted to love the game again. And the hardest conversation I have, the one that changes everything, is never with the kid, it's with the parent. Because here's what nobody in baseball is telling you. Most well-meaning parents are accidentally making their son's mental game worse. Not on purpose, not because they don't care, but because nobody ever showed them what helps and what hurts. Today I'm going to give you 5 things every baseball parent needs to know about the mental game. And I promise you, at least one of them is going to hit you right between the eyes, because I've sat across from too many dads on the phone who said the same thing. I thought I was helping. And here's the reality I see every single week. A parent calls me, they've spent $15, $20, sometimes $30,000 on travel ball, private lessons, showcases, equipment, camps, you name it. All of it going to the physical side of the game. And their son still can't perform when it matters. He looks like an all-star in batting practice. He crushes it in the cage, but the second the game starts, the second there's something on the line, he tightens up, he presses, he swings at pitches he'd never swing at in practice. And the parent is sitting in the stands thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why can't he just play the way I know he can? The answer is that you've invested in everything except the one thing that controls all of it, his mind. And the part that's going to be hard to hear, some of the things you're doing at home, after games, in the car, at the dinner table, are unintentionally reinforcing the exact mental patterns you're trying to break. Let me show you what I mean. And before you think I'm pointing fingers, I want you to know I get it. I was a professional baseball player. I played nearly a decade in the big leagues. And even I had to learn these lessons the hard day. My dad was doing his best. He loved me. He wanted the best for me. But love isn't the same as skill. And that's the reframe I need you to hear. Being a great baseball parent isn't about caring more. It's about knowing what actually helps your son's mental game. And that's a skill. Just like hitting is a skill, just like fielding is a skill, you can learn it. And today, I'm going to teach you. So here is mistake number 1, the car ride home analysis. This is huge. This is a big one. The one I see in almost every family I work with. The game ends, your son had a rough day, and on the drive home, the breakdown begins. Why did you swing at that pitch in the 3rd inning? Your footwork on that grounder, it was off. It didn't look good. You should have been more aggressive. And here's what your son hears. My performance defines how my dad feels about me. And here's what it does to his mind. It teaches him that baseball is about avoiding your disappointment, not about competing and growing. The fix is simple. After the game, good or bad, ask one question. Did you compete today with all you had? Not did you win? Not how many hits? Did you compete? Did you control what you could control? If the answer is yes, you say, beautiful. That's a win in my book. And you move on. That single shift from analyzing results to honoring effort and all the controllables transforms the parent-athlete relationship, I promise you. And it teaches your son that his worth isn't a stat line, it's a standard. Now, mistake number 2 is all about tying your emotions to his performance. And I can always tell when parents do this. Their son goes 3 for 4 and they're beaming. Or he goes 0 for 3 and they're quiet or frustrated or radiating tension from the bleachers so loud the kid can feel it from the field. Your son is reading your energy every single game. And when your mood rises and falls with his box score, he learns something devastating. My dad's happiness depends on how I play. That's a weight no 15-year-old player of any age should carry. And here's the reframe. Your role in the stands is to be his steady presence, not his scoreboard. The same energy after an 0 for 4 as after a 3 for 4. He needs to know that your love and your pride aren't conditional on results. I teach a concept called control the controllables. Your son's controllables are his effort, his body language, his preparation, his response. Your controllables as a parent are your energy, your words, and your presence. If you want your son to stop tying his confidence to his stats, you have to stop tying yours to his. Mistake number 3 is ignoring the mental game entirely. I hear this one constantly. He just needs more reps. He needs to work harder in the cage. If we get him into the elite showcase, that'll fix it. More reps don't fix a mind that's racing. More showcases don't fix a player who's terrified of failure. More money spent on the physical side doesn't touch the one thing that's actually broken. And here's the number 1 thing I share with every family. 1% of your day is 14 minutes and 24 seconds. That's all it takes for your son to start training his mind. A breath routine, a short visualization, a postgame journal. 14 minutes. That's less time than he spends scrolling his phone or playing video games before bed. And yet most families spend thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours on the physical side and 0 minutes on the mental game. The game is at least 90% mental. You know that, everyone says it. So the question is, why does your son spend 100% of his training on the other 10%? Mistake number 4 is not having a post-game routine for you. I teach athletes 5 routines: AM, PM, pregame, in-game, and post-game. But what most people don't realize is that the post-game routine isn't just for the player. There's a parent version, and here's what it looks like. After the game, give him space. Don't analyze, don't coach, let him decompress. When he's ready to talk, and this might be 30 minutes later or it might be the next day, ask 3 questions. What did you do well? What did he do that he's proud of? The controllables. What would you do differently? Not what went wrong. What would he change about his approach, his preparation, his mindset? And the third question, did you flush it? Because tomorrow is a new day and a new opportunity. That's the parent's post-game routine. 3 questions, and then you let it go. Because if you can't flush a bad game, how do you expect your son to? And lastly, mistake number 5 is being his coach instead of his dad. I saved this one for last because it's the most important. Your son has coaches. He has hitting instructors, he has pitching coaches, he has strength trainers. He has a whole team of people whose job it is to teach him baseball. He has one dad, one mom, one set of parents. Your job isn't to fix his swing from the bleachers. Your job isn't to run film review at the kitchen table. Your job is to be the person in his life who loves him regardless of how he plays. When I work with families, the transformation that matters most isn't the kid going from 0 for weekends to hitting 400. It's the moment the dad stops coaching and starts just being present. And the kid, you can see it in his body language, relaxes. He plays free. That's the goal. Play free, loose, and confident. And that starts with the parent who creates an environment where those things are possible. Now, let me tell you about a family I worked with. The dad was a former college player, good player, loved the game, and he was coaching his son from every angle. The car ride, the backyard, the dinner table, and his son, he was just miserable. Talented kid, very talented, physically gifted, but he was playing tight, shrinking in big moments, and slowly losing his love for baseball. The dad called me and said the words I hear all the time. I thought I was helping. We started working together, and the first thing I addressed wasn't the kid's mental game. It was the dad's. We implemented the post-game routine for both of them. We talked about the car ride home. We talked about tying emotions to performance, and we set one ground rule. No more coaching from the bleachers. 3 weeks later, the dad texted me. He said, "My son walked off the field last night smiling. He went 0 for 3, and he was smiling," he said. "Dad, I competed on every pitch. I'm good." And the dad, a grown man, a former college athlete, said he almost cried in the parking lot because for the first time, his son was playing free. Not because the stats changed, because the environment changed. That's what this work does. It doesn't just transform the player, it transforms the family. Okay, so now let's review those 5 things. 1, stop the car ride home analysis. Ask one question. Did you compete and control the controllables today? 2, stop tying your emotions to his performance. Be his steady presence, not his scoreboard. 3, invest in the mental game. 14 minutes and 24 seconds, 1% of his day. Start there. Number 4, build a post-game routine for yourself. 3 questions, then flush it. And 5, be his parent, not his coach. Create an environment where he can play free. Those 5 shifts cost nothing. They take no extra time, and they might be the most important changes you make in your son's baseball career. And now here's the thing. Everything I just shared, those 5 mistakes, those 5 fixes, that's the starting point. It's the awareness piece. And awareness is always step 1. But inside my program, Unlocked, I go much deeper. There's a full parent module that walks you through the communication protocols, the pregame and postgame routines for the whole family, and the specific tools your son needs to build his mental game from the ground up. Because the truth is, knowing what not to do is half the equation. The other half is giving your son a system, specific mental tools, daily routines, an identity framework that rewires how he sees himself. That's what Unlocked builds. And it takes 1% of his day, 14 minutes and 24 seconds to train. If you're a parent who's watched your son struggle and you've been searching for the missing piece, click the link below. This is the work that changes everything, not just for the player, but for the family.